Hi Year 11, me again. I mean, don't stop being like this. So, today we're going to look at another unseen poem for section C of your exam tomorrow morning. Not to panic you or anything. So let's remind ourselves of the steps to success of when approaching an unseen poem, okay? The first thing we need to do is we need to read through the poem and figure out what it is about, okay? Secondly, we need to go through the poem's purpose, the theme or the message. Then we need to, thirdly, explore the emotions, the moods or feelings, thinking about is it remaining constant or is there a journey? And fourthly, identifying the methods that link to those emotions, thinking about potentially the word choice, semantic field, imagery, caesura, enjambment, all those kind of things. And then finally, linking all the methods to the intentions of the poet that we potentially have identified up here already. Okay, so let's make a start. We've got our poem today, which again you can search online and see if you can get yourself a copy. It's called The Pen and the Gun. I think some of you have looked at this today with in your boost session, so that's cool. So you can potentially go back over this and think about how you approached it yourself. So it says, Tony Harrison, The Pen and the Gun. There's never a time I use this fountain pen without I'm haunted by a pigeon's pain. This pen scratched out the panic that it felt. It took almost 2 days dying. All my fault. My friend Pinhead got an air gun once, and what we did with it still makes me wince. His mum bought him it when his dad died. She thought it'd help him not to miss his dad. It was the first thing that Pinhead wanted most. He had the first few goes and always missed. The pigeon on his chimney, nowhere near. So wide the bird stayed basking, unaware. Then I tried and got, beginner's luck, a hit of sorts with my first ever shot. It fell in the gutter out of reach and sight, but for its claws it scraped against the slate and scratched all day, all night, and not until tea time the next day were those claws still. I was young enough to cry. Never again did I show any interest in a gun. I grew to think the pen far mightier than though the scraped claw sound still haunts me from back then. This pen scratching like its slowly blunting claw has haunted me for 50 years or more. Immediately I'm thinking there's a bit of rhyme there at the end, but let's not dive ahead. Right, so what do I think the poem is about? I think the poem is about, obviously the poet is recalling a memory of potentially killing a bird, a pigeon. Okay, and then we need to start thinking about the purpose of the poem. So we're thinking, well, actually, he's talking about a memory of killing a pigeon with his friend, Pinhead. What a name. Gonna add to that. Right. Step 2, note down the poem's purpose, the theme, or the message. Well, he obviously wasn't happy about it. I'm clearly thinking that potentially the message here, he's got a bit of regret. He's almost haunted by the memory still. Every time he writes, he can hear the scratching of his pen. So his constant reminder. Regrets actions, I'm going to say. Haunted by it, okay. Thirdly, the poet's emotions and moods and feelings. Pen change, right. Let's go with blue. So emotions, I'm thinking initially, there's a time I used to use this fountain pen without I'm haunted by a pigeon's pain. This pen scratched out the panic that it felt. It took almost 2 days dying. All my fault. So I'm thinking now, he's kind of like upset by it. He's like gutted, isn't he, really? Because he thinks it's all his fault, which we'll come back to in a moment with the use of methods. My friend Pinhead got an air gun once, and what we did with it still makes me wince. So it makes him, when you say wince, it makes him feel uncomfortable. His mum bought it when his dad died. She thought it'd help him not to miss his dad. It was the thing that Pinhead wanted most. He had the first few goes, always missed. The pigeon on his chimney, nowhere near. So wide the bird stayed basking, unaware. Then I tried and got beginner's luck, a hit. So almost like shock. Couldn't believe his luck, really. It fell in the gutter out of reach and sight, but for its claws it scraped against the slate. So a bit uneasy there. Scratched all day, all night, not until tea time next day with those claws still. I was young enough to cry. Never again did I show any interest in a gun. I grew to think the pen far mightier than though the scraped claw sound still haunts me from back then. It's kind of going back to about feeling upset again. So it's kind of going back almost. This pen scratching like its slowly blunting claw has haunted me for 50 years or more. So, that lasting kind of... What do you think, Miss, about the emotion at the end? Quite...
Just constant regret, isn't it?
Yeah.
Long lasting.
That's a really good idea. Nice. Right, okay, so language or structure or anything else that we can add throughout the method. So let's go through the different emotions and see what we can tie in. So we said about before kind of being upset. I think I'm going to go with, when I said here, there's never a time I use this fountain pen without it. I'm haunted by a pigeon's pain. Probably about here. Pain. 2 days dying. All my fault. This is kind of highlighting it for me so we can think about what kind of choice has been made here. Pigeon's pain. So it's a noun, and for those of you going for sophisticated terms, you could say an abstract noun because it's a feeling. 2 days dying. So again, we can focus on this verb choice here of dying.
Very specific as well.
Yeah.
2 days.
Yeah.
So he's obviously watched it and...
About time.
Yeah.
Definitely. So you could say about use of time. Definitely. All my fault. What could we say about us? We could talk probably about the possessive pronoun, about my. Again, it's like feeling again, it's all his fault. It's like down to him.
Yeah, like accepting it.
Yeah. Because basically, almost like he feels like it's a crime, maybe, that he's committed. Uncomfortable here when he says my friend Pinhead. I mean, I think I'd like to look at the Pinhead. That's quite an unusual name, really. It's obviously a nickname. It doesn't really sound like he was a nice boy if he was called Pinhead, but that's just me. Sorry if I offend anybody that's called Pinhead. Uncomfortable, and I like about the word wince. Makes me wince. Would you say that was a verb choice there, Miss? It's an action, isn't it?
Do you think he blames Pinhead? Do you think he thinks it's Pinhead's fault there?
Oh, potentially, because obviously he's passed it to him.
Yeah.
That's
Passing
quite
on
an
the blame
idea.
a little bit.
Yeah, so almost like unwilling to have sole responsibility a little bit.
And then Pinhead could say, like, it was a silly choice. You know, because Pinhead means, like, small-minded or...
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, pin small,
Yeah.
that's good. So he almost trying to shift the blame a little bit, because obviously before we said it was kind of, when he said it's my fault, and then now he's saying it's kind of also actually, if I wasn't with Pinhead, then it wouldn't be that fault. So yeah, you could analyse pin, small, maybe small-minded, I like that idea. Let's go for the shock now. Then I tried and got beginner's luck, a hit of sorts. So I think I'd tie that in with almost the commas there. Like, because there's so many of them, it's kind of...
Then could you say denial, like hesitating?
Yeah,
A hit of sorts. Like, doesn't want to admit fully hit
like
it.
it had happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when things move in slow motion, it's a bit like, yeah, you can't believe it. Yeah, I like that idea. First ever shot, beginner's look, you could probably look at as well. Uneasy, scraped against, and if you look at the noun, gutter as well. And scraped, verb, and obviously like he's scraped against a slate again, another noun here we could look at. And you think about that, it's quite a grim way, isn't it, really? Slate's quite cold.
It's repeated as well. Scraped claw on the second to last stanza.
Oh, where we at? Oh yeah,
And scratch is repeated.
yeah, scratching,
And scratch.
scratched, yeah, so we've got repetition.
It's at the beginning as well.
Oh, is it? I missed that, damn it. Let's go to it. Scrats.
Yeah.
Nice.
them all.
Yeah, cool, lovely. Upset, haunts, I think definitely. Linking with haunts still haunts me, so I think that's verb. Or you could take again, if you want to be sophisticated, maybe like a mental verb really. Regret again, you could probably tie in regret with the fact about repetition, I think, because it's just constantly coming throughout. It's a constant reminder that he feels regret for it because he's subjecting himself to that sound over and over again. 50 years again, about time. We looked at time before, didn't we? 2 days dying, and now we've got about 50 years or more as a length. Right, let's start to link it to methods, to intentions. Right, green. So, first one, we said about, here's regret, I think that's the main thing. Regret's action. So, regret, well, obviously we're going to talk about the repetition there. And we're going to talk about personal acceptance of it, maybe. And then we could say about, he could potentially have felt bad that he followed the crowd. He obviously listened to his friend. So, don't follow others. Make your own choices in life, basically. So again, you could go with the name, couldn't you? And about wincing, because it made him feel uncomfortable. So that's quite a nice idea. Any other potentially messages? We've said regret. We've said about not following others. What do you think, Miss? I think that's about it.
I think just the time. I think something needs linking to time. There's so much of it.
So the
And
the actions that you take, they'll stay with you.
Yeah, and then
So
that's haunted and
actions you make, or maybe I should say decisions.
long-lasting consequences, something like that.
Yeah. Long-lasting consequences. Okay, so then we could say about, so we'll link that to time. I think about the uneasy idea as well, and the shock of it all. Potentially, I think more about the uneasiness, because again, that's that feeling that stays with him, because every time he's writing with that pen, that's what he's reminded of. It makes him feel uncomfortable that he made that decision when he was younger. I think that's kind of about it.
And we've just hit 10 minutes of planning as well.
Lovely, excellent. I'm getting better at this, guys. I feel like I should do it every night. Right, so hopefully that's helped somewhat. Feel free to watch it back and go through it. If you've got any questions, get in touch. Thanks, Year 11.